continuing on about trade shows, selecting the right trade show is important, and making sure that you're talking about, fitting products for that particular trade show is also important as well. There are some things that you can do to be prepared and plan out that booth. So, how much space do you need? Typically, booths are 10 by 10, and then you can add on from there. So it does not have to be a 10 by 10 space. You can go a 10 by 20 or 10 by 30, or you could do 20 by 10 or 30 if you got an end cap. And so there's all sorts of ways that you can configure it. What materials do you need? Are you going to have handouts, promotional items? One of the points in the discussion board was that we don't think that brochures are all that good of a promotional item because they just get thrown away. I would agree with that. But at the same time, I think you need to have something, because some people want to have something to take away to remind them to contact somebody, or that way they have contact information. So I would have something, but maybe don't sink a ton of money into it. Do you need TVs, extension cords, speakers? And another thing, make sure that people are trained to be in the booth. And the one thing that really aggravates me when I go to a trade show is that I'll start talking to somebody and they'll say, "Oh, I don't know the answer to that question. Oh, I don't know the answer to that question either." So make sure your staff are trained. Something that you can do to get people to come to the booth is, if you're at a conference, send emails or even snail mail to the attendees and ask them to stop by your booth. Tell them to stop by, play your game, and register to win an iPad or something like that. Okay, like I said, 10 by 10 booth space is pretty common. Tabletop displays, those are common too. I've seen some people, we have a departmental tablecloth that we use in our booth. Pop-up displays, doing some sort of a back wall, portable truss system. What is that, Dr. Earlbeck? That is, and I don't think that you'll be able to see my internet screen, but it kind of looks like I'll post a picture on the Blackboard page so that y'all can see what it is that I am talking about. Booth design. There's the walk-up table. I would not call this good booth design, but it's the pictures I found on the internet. Pretty simple. I do like, if you're going to have a small booth like that, I do like the printed tablecloths on top of that. Podium, you can have booths where you walk around in the booth. Some sort of interactive. So the picture that just popped up on the screen, that's at a trade show that I went to, and they had a little beanbag toss game, and if you got it into certain slots in the barn, you got different prizes. Some it's more of an exhibit, less of a booth, where you come up and look at something. And then demonstration. So this is of the Farm Progress Show, which is just a trade show. It's not a conference. And they do crop and combine demonstrations at that. So all sorts of stuff that you can do. Most of the time your trade shows are held in a convention center, and they're working with a third-party trade show company, and they oversee the setup, the move-in, the shipping, and everything that the trade show company does is at the expense of the exhibitor. So things that they will ask you, are you going to use carpet? Well, how thick of carpet do you want? So if you have thick carpet, it's expensive. But for any of you that have worked trade shows, that thick carpet is worth whatever they charge for it. What furniture do you need? Some people will move in couches or tables and chairs where you can sit down and kind of have a little conference-y type thing. The picture on the left, that's a podium that I was talking about. So it just depends on what you need from this trade show, what you're planning and hoping to do with your booth space. These companies will even charge you for a trash can. So, and one of my friends will go find a Walgreens and buy a real cheap trash can, and that way she has something just for people to throw away candy wrappers and things like that. So this came from a friend of mine that exhibited at NAFB several years ago. So the padded carpet was $156. If you want a chair with a back, those are going to be $56.65 each. A table is $72. A pedestal table, so like a cocktail type table, $73. A trash can with liner, $12. So just for, this is not the booth rental. This is just the bill from the trade show company was $463. And then the handouts that they gave away, any kind of promotional items or swag that they gave away, there's charge for that. And then there's your employee travel to Kansas City, and that would be your flight, your hotel, your meals. Those types of things all add up. I don't have in here booth design. And so what you're going to pay for your backdrops and things like that, I didn't put them in there because those can be designed and then reused for several years. You don't want to have the same booth for years on end, but they can be reused and reused at different conventions as well. If you want to be right by the front door, or premium locations cost premium dollars. So those are some expenses there. So trade shows and conventions are pricey. But again, if that is the target audience that you're aiming at, then sometimes they are worth the money and are more cost effective than anything else that you could do.